We'll start with some basics. Agile is more than just a process. It's really a mindset. It's built on adapting to change rather than trying to stamp it out. This mindset shift is why Agile is so powerful for projects where we don't and often can't know every detailed point upfront. In Agile, we usually work in short cycles called sprints. Instead of planning everything months in advance, we plan just enough to get started, deliver a slice of value, and then adapt based on what we learn. This blend of flexible thinking and incremental delivery is what keeps team fresh and responsive. This is not a complete Agile training, but we need to talk about some basics. The Agile Manifesto laid out 4 big values: individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working software or deliverables over excessive documentation, customer collaboration over rigid contracts, and responding to change over following a fixed plan. They remind us that people and adaptability are the heart of successful projects. And especially the last point is the most important one. Responding to change is super difficult for humans. So every Scrum Master, product owner, developer, or teammate need to reflect every day from start, I am open for change. And if not, try to be open, because this is the crucial part for an Agile success. A few key Agile principles as a speed dating version to keep it handy. Deliver small increments frequently so you can pivot if needed. Welcome changes at any stage, not just early on. Communicate in real time, whether it's face-to-face or virtual. And pace yourself sustainable. Don't sprint so hard that you burn or the team burn. These principles help avoid long periods of building in the dark. And this is super important because you need to keep your stakeholders and product owners in the loop. When they can't see results, they can't give feedback. And this can lead relatively quickly to a situation that the whole project goes into a wrong direction. You likely heard of Waterfall. What is more a sequential approach? Gather all requirements, design the solution, build, and finally test at the end. Agile flips that on its head by allowing flexibility. We break down work, deliver it in small cycles, and adjust it as we go. If you're in an environment where requirements evolve, Agile is usually more forgiving than a waterfall approach. But wait, first question here. What exactly is a project? A project is a temporary effort. Okay, so far so clear. Take your time now for a moment and think about these 3 activities: painting a house, designing a new car, or increasing the revenue of a company. What of these activities are projects? I assume you have an answer now. So you are right. All 3 activities are a project because they are temporary and they aim for creating a unique outcome. So this is the second part of the rule or of the definition. What is a project? But what is with that? Designing a website or developing a website for a customer and then designing and developing this website, exactly the same website again. Is it also a project? Take a second and think about it. Yes, you are absolutely right. It's also a project. Because not just the activity, also your environment takes an important role. So means here, a project is a matchless temporary effort aimed at creating a unique outcome. The environment could be here, the customer, for example, with a little bit different wishes. But it is also your mood, because you're creating the same website again, but you're maybe in a different mood. But definitely you have learned a lot from creating the website the first time. And this new experience is now a different approach in creating the website a second time. So both are still a project here. But wait, there's another important step in project management. And as a Berlin comedian said, okay, before we talk about projects, maybe we should explain first the concept of work in Berlin. We should also do it. And we do it exactly on the next slide. There is work which is organized in projects, and they are temporary and unique. But you have also other work, and these are often operations. And operations are permanent, and they live based on repetitions. Operations are those ongoing repetitive things like maintaining a production line or running a restaurant kitchen daily. Projects, on the other hand, are for major changes, like launching a new line of products or revamping your entire menu. Agile can assist in both contexts, but it's tailor-made for project scenarios, especially when you need improvements. Let's ask the question again. What are operations? So serving customers in a restaurant, the production line of manufacturing cars, or giving a support for a specific infrastructure, physical infrastructure or network infrastructure. Take a couple of seconds to think about it. I'm sure you found the answer. These are all operations. But what is now with sentences like everybody is a project manager? And how is the play between operations and projects? So let's deep dive a little bit in this concept. And we do it first theoretically, and then we add a practical context to it. In every organization, you have objectives. They are defined. And for achieving these objectives, you make plans. And these plans are often fulfilled by operations. And operations also create outputs. And outputs, they create outcomes. And then you have in addition opportunities and projects. And they are a little bit separated. You will see in a second why. So let's put our restaurant example on it. So let's say our objective is to open a restaurant. We want to feed hungry guests, our objective definition. Our plan and our operations for this is cook and serve meals. Makes sense. The output of these operations is food. And the outcome of this output is hopefully happy customers. But then you can have, in addition, an opportunity. For example, delivering food to clients. And this can be set up in a project like setting up a pilot for doing it. When you're doing it for a while, this project can become an operation. But why I'm explaining this? I personally think this is a super important aspect because operations and projects have complete different management techniques. And I saw in a lot of operations customers or also companies where I worked for that a person who was amazing in managing operations totally failed in maintaining a project and vice versa. So important here is that the management technique from operations are not the same for projects. And you can't take them and simply put them to projects. So it means that's why we make a difference between project management and operations management. That's, by the way, also important when you study one of them at the university. They definitely can be different. So let's summarize it. Different techniques exist for project management and operations management. For projects, we talk about sprints, user stories, velocity in the agile context. For operations, you might track metrics like daily throughput. Remember on following example, simply throwing more people at a project often doesn't help. So as 9 women can't produce a baby in 1 month. This works in operations, but not in project. And pregnancy is definitely a project. So why is this now important for Agile ceremonies? It's relatively simple. Agile ceremonies are a management technique. And they are a management technique for project management in an Agile context. So means Agile project management needs distinct management approaches. As I said, A perfect manager for operations is maybe not a good Scrum Master or product owner. And this is also one of the main reasons why projects fail or why agile implementations in organizations are not working perfectly. There are a couple of more reasons which I have noted here. So one is clients don't know what they want. So it's easy. I know it when I see it. I have it nearly every week when I talk to our developers. In some cases, I need to see a feature, how it behaves or how it looks like before I can judge. A second reason is often communication issues between businesses and development teams. We will come to this point in a later chapter. Varying understanding of project management and operations is what I explained in the last couple of 2-3 minutes. And the last point why projects fail is frequent changes in requirements. That's often called the moving target problem. So as an example here, when you say to somebody, please train for a sprint, and the person is training weeks and weeks for sprints, etc., and then you change your requirement. No, it would be also great when you can run a marathon. This needs a complete different training, a complete different preparation. So this is something what you can't adjust with Agile. But moving targets are perfectly for Agile frameworks. Agile is not a framework, it's a mindset. Because Agile allows you to adjust your activities based on the moving target. It shouldn't be too heavy, but slight movements are definitely allowed. So we are looping back to Waterfall versus Agile because it's crucial to see the difference in mindset. Waterfall can be okay for stable work, but you are dealing with uncertain or evolving requirements. Agile ceremonies and in general Agile provides guardrails that you steer the new information. Some folks swear by Waterfall. Others love Agile. The real question is whether your environment benefits more from a steady, predictable or from the adaptability. If you keep hearing, oh, we just found out something new, Agile is your go-to. Agile versus traditional key differences. Flexibility versus strict planning. Continuous feedback versus end-stage testing. And collaborative team approach versus hierarchical sign-offs. Your situation will dictate which side of the fence you lean on. And every project has, in most of the cases, also a clear direction of which project management style you should choose. To give you a simple one example, I don't want to drive on a bridge where the project management approach was Agile. Just think about that. Construction workers have a daily stand-up. They can decide by their own which working package they take next. You measure your progress on a 2-week basis, and you have a moving target problem. So this is not the case for when your plan is to build a bridge. When your plan is to build a bridge, you have a clear goal, you have a clear objective. You have an architect who can design the bridge from the beginning to the end. You have also a clear classic Gantt chart waterfall project management plan. When will which company deliver what or build what? Building a house or building a bridge are classic waterfall approaches. Developing a software or designing a new car or designing a new service are more on the Agile side of life. So there is no good or bad approach. It simply depends on the project. So as I said, that's not an Agile training, but I want to talk quickly about Scrum and Kanban because these are two popular Agile frameworks. Scrum has fixed lengths and sprints and specific ceremonies like sprint planning, daily stand-up reviews, and retros. We're talking about in this training. Kanban focus on limiting work on progress and continuous flow. Both can be incorporated with the Agile principles. I saw teams, Kanban teams and Scrum teams, and they used all of the Agile ceremonies. So this is really on you to define when you're running your team in a Kanban approach, which Agile ceremonies make sense and which not.